Lifting as You Lead Mentoring Circles program is a one-of-a-kind and was created to make a difference in the federal public service. It is the largest group mentoring program for the Government of Canada and the Canadian Armed Force members. It helps participants pursue both personal and professional growth. LLMC is a people-powered movement and answers the clerk's call to action. Through this lens, the LLMC program provides members with an innovative space and opportunity to actively participate in making our workplaces inclusive and building their leadership skills. There's power in people coming together.
I feel propelled to take action from being part of the LLMC program. It was just so dynamic. And all the different ways to learn through the small groups, through the mentorship sessions, through the calls, through the learning opportunities, having the experts come in. It really offered a multi-layered type of approach. So how could you not feel propelled? How could you not feel energized? How could you not feel totally prepared?
The masterclass on sponsorship really highlighted the need to hire for potential. I think that we get stuck hiring people who have exactly the skills that we need right now, rather than hiring candidates and looking for candidates who have the potential to do the job. That was eye-opening for me. So now I'm looking for candidates who will be able to do the job, not necessarily who can do the job right now.
I definitely see opportunity that I would have not seen in the past. I've been with the CRA for about 15 years, especially after the unfortunate events of the death of George Floyd, and also the call from the clerk as to the gaps that are expressed within the senior ranks of the government in general, as far as Blacks and Indigenous people go. Now, I am a manager, I'm an aspiring executive, and I can see that it is actually possible. Something that I did not believe would have been possible a long time ago. I've always said, tell the story of how when I started to think about becoming a manager, and I was with people from my community that have been within the CRA for a long time, and the attitude was basically for them that possibility was not there. It was almost inexistent, and they didn't believe that it would ever happen.
LLMC has impacted how I lead and how I see others lead by giving me a different perspective that's more empathetic to how other people are seen, especially people minorities are seen and felt and perceived by others. It's given me a viewpoint on that, and it lets me interact with my leaders and other leaders in a way that has given me tools to educate them, to help them be better leaders by integrating that subject matter into their leadership style, but at the same time not too forcefully, and having those difficult conversations in a constructive way that kind of helps everybody and makes teams better in the long run.
So I have a personal interest in advocacy for the queer community. No one in my family nor any other family should be treated like a second-class citizen. So I'm really committed to having conversations, getting involved, making issues known, to ensure that we don't have rights stripped away from my family, your family, anyone's family. The LLMC, what it did was it gave me access to not only information and tools, but also a network of people who I could connect with to, have these discussions, to talk about ongoing issues and how we can move forward with them.
LLMC has helped me in the terms of it's acted as a springboard, really a springboard to meet new folks across the region, to find out about their different roles, but also to connect in a way that is not usually possible in our regular 9 to 5 when we're so focused on the tasks that are given. It gives us a chance to just take that moment and think about our personal growth, think about our professional growth, think about our mindset, where we're going. So that's how it's helped me.
The Lifting as You Lead Mentoring Circles is an immersive program dedicated to fostering mentorship, sponsorship, and inclusivity within the public service. It holds the promise of nurturing a new generation of leaders who will champion diversity and equity, not merely as a slogan, but as a lived reality. Inclusion is not just about words, it's about actions, and the LLMC program is taking meaningful steps in the right direction. Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour à tous. Thumbs up or emojis. Can you hear me okay? Yes, amazing. All right. So happy to be here with you today. Oh, wow, look at all that emoji love. Oh, I'm feeling it all. Suzanne, c'est une journée exceptionnelle aujourd'hui.
Oh mon Dieu, la remise des diplômes, c'est toujours excitant. I'm very excited to be here, Samantha.
I'm so excited to claim space with all of you today. I don't take this day lightly. I feel so proud. I feel so proud of all of us, the organizers, all the participants. This is a big day. This is a day to shine the light on you. I dedicate this day to my children who one day I hope that, we don't need to know some of these topic areas and they've gone way beyond. And, this is just, normal to just be inclusive and that, we can shatter all of these glass ceilings and everyone can just claim their space and be like, so I just wanted to say that. And I just wanted to say the power of one person making a decision to make a change. And I just look at everyone as doing that. Suzanne, every time I hear you speak in that video, it makes my heart skip a beat. And your enthusiasm, and I know you're new to the public service and you had to learn a whole new culture and being, and I just feel like you just joined in and you put your authentic self out there. And I just want to say thank you for being part of this community.
Oh, well, thank you for welcoming me in so nicely. I mean, as a new public servant, I like to say I'm a toddler. I'm only 4, only 4 years old. There's so much to learn, and just to be able to apply this lens to my everyday is so significant to me. So I'm very thankful to LLMC. Je suis très reconnaissante, très contente de faire partie de cette très belle initiative. Encore une fois.
Amazing. So, Lyric, if you can let everyone have a chance to turn on their cameras, I know you have to click a switch to do that. Please, everyone, if graduates, all the guests, if you want to just put on your cameras and wave and do a big hello, I think that would just be so amazing to show. We are graduates. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Samantha Moonsamy, and I'm the founder of the Lifting as You Lead Mentoring Circles program. I'm also the section head for diversity and inclusion here at Material Group at National Defense. For me, as you know, this position is more than just a job. I am intrinsically motivated by the people and building a culture of excellence. But I'm much more than just my job title. I'm a partner, a mother of boys of Afro-Indian, Caribbean identities. My youngest actually just turned 3 yesterday on St. Patrick's Day. I'm an immigrant, a friend, a sister, and a daughter. I'm a co-conspirator for positive change, and I use my influence each and every day to lift people higher. Bienvenue à tous. Throughout this event, you're going to see in the chat some valuable links and messages from our team that will be posted in the chat. English and French interpreters are available online so that you may choose and listen in the language of your choice. In addition, MS Teams transcription feature has also been enabled. I'd now like to pass the mic over to Suzanne Richard, our co-host, to introduce herself.
Hello everyone, bonjour, je m'appelle Suzanne Richard et en tant que conseillère principale en politique et programme de l'établissement Intégration et Affaires francophones auprès de l'immigration, réfugiés et citoyenneté Canada, je suis fière d'être une diplômée encore de la cohorte numéro 3 et d'être ici pour célébrer avec vous. My deep layers include my cultural heritage from the island of Dominica. It is the ancestral territory of the Kalinago people. I'm also an arts educator and I specialize in the area of Afro-Caribbean culture through dance. I'm a community auntie, a foodie, and most proudly, a mom of 2 beautiful adult children. Alors, aujourd'hui, nous avons l'honneur de célébrer la remise des diplômes à plus de 1000 participantes au programme du DEAPCM, représentant plus de 60 organisations. Le greffier du Conseil privé et secrétaire du Cabinet du Canada, John Hannaford, se joint à nous aujourd'hui, ainsi que nombreux nouveaux visages curieux d'apprendre comment eux et leur organisation peuvent bénéficier de ce programme unique. With over 2,000 LLMC graduates will tell you is that the research shows from the Gallup 2022 study, mentors and sponsors make a difference. 75% of leaders can tell you that mentoring plays a key role in career success. LLMC is one of a kind. It's a free group mentorship program that is breaking down barriers across our organizations to provide opportunities for people of all backgrounds and levels to advance their careers. Le DEAPCM est un programme de mentorat de groupe gratuit et unique en son genre qui fait tomber les barrières au sein de nos organisations afin d'offrir aux personnes de tous horizons et de tous niveaux la possibilité de faire progresser leur carrière. L'approche collaborative de groupe est unique au programme. C'est qui en fait le complètement parfait de votre programme de mentorat individuel existant. Nous proposons des cercles de mentorat en petits groupes pour une expérience d'apprentissage immersive. Des sessions de masterclass vous permettent d'acquérir les compétences de leadership en temps réel que vous pouvez directement mettre en œuvre dans votre organisation. Et des opportunités permanentes pour construire votre réseau de mentors qui vous soutiennent. Beyond its value as a leadership development initiative, LLMC is a strategic investment that directly contributes to business success. The far-reaching benefits include those such as strengthening our leadership pipeline by developing future-ready leaders, enhancing diversity, equity, and inclusion in alignment with key government initiatives, improving talent retention and engagement through a supportive learning culture that increases job satisfaction and reduces turnover. It's scalable and cost-effective career development that maximizes impact with minimal resources and transfer of institutional knowledge that prevents the loss of expertise. But you don't just have to take it from me. Today, we'll be hearing from several graduates who will be sharing how their career were positively impacted by this program, as well as subject matter experts. Il y a des gens on va écouter leur histoire de réussite de nos diplômés. Vous serez incités à vous joindre à nous pour la 5e cohorte en septembre. L'inscription est maintenant ouverte jusqu'au 31 mai 2025 et pour tous les fonctionnaires fédéraux et les membres de l'équipe de défense. Alors, wow, tellement excité. À toi, Sam.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Oh my goodness, how exciting. Graduates, congratulations on successfully completing the LLMC program. Through this program, you connected, elevated, and inspired fellow members of your organization. And this movement reminds us that there's power in people coming together from coast to coast to coast and around the world. So I see you all. I see you all as leaders for change. And by participating in the LLMC, you brought to vision the life of the late Ian Sugar in his clerk's call to action on anti-racism, equity, and inclusion. He says, building a diverse, equitable, and inclusive public service is both an obligation and an opportunity we all share. We must advance this objective together, acting both individually and collectively, and recognizing that our progress will rely on amplifying the voices of those within our organizations to help lead the way. So that's what we've seen through and through in LLMC. I saw you all using your voice for change in the mentoring circles. It was just such an enriching, immersive experience, what we've just done. So throughout this program, you took steps towards developing your inclusive leadership skills. So whether you were an EX3 or an AS1 or an ENG or correctional service officer or a nurse, like everyone was part of these circles and sharing knowledge and building their leadership skills. It was truly amazing to see. So you equipped yourself with the knowledge and tools to integrate critical leadership skills into your workplace with an enthusiasm that made 2024 LMC so memorable and engaging. I cannot thank you enough. I had so much fun in all of those masterclasses, all of those lounges, connecting with all of you. And I love seeing what's happening in the LinkedIn group too. So by participating in LLMC 2024, you open new doors and opportunities and possibilities for you and for future members. Public service renewal, defense team renewal is everything. So graduates, we encourage you to continue opening those doors so everyone can thrive and become leaders in their organization. So once again, congratulations. Let's celebrate today. I'd like to pass the mic back to Suzanne for our land acknowledgement.
Situé dans le bureau de la diversité et inclusion du groupe des matériels de la défense nationale, l'équipe du DEAPCM reconnaît respectueusement que nos bureaux situés à Ottawa se trouvent sur le territoire non cédé de la nation algonquine-anishinaabe, dont la présence ici remonte à des temps immémoriaux. The Algonquins are the customary keepers and defenders of the Ottawa River watershed and its tributaries. We honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory and uphold and uplift the voices and values of our host nation. Nous respectons et affirmons les droits inhérents et les droits issus du traité de tous les peuples autochtones de ce territoire. Nous reconnaissons l'oppression historique des terres, des cultures et des peuples d'origine dans ce que nous appelons aujourd'hui le Canada. Et nous croyons fermement que les arts contribuent au voyage de guérison et de décolonisation que nous partageons tous ensemble. This acknowledgement only becomes meaningful when combined with accountable relationships and informed actions. This acts as only a first step in honoring the unsurrendered land we operate on. We continue to honor the people, elders, and Indigenous ancestors of this land. Before we continue, let's do a check-in on your health. Because the intent of LLMC is to have safe conversations about important subjects that will help transform the federal public service by creating diverse and inclusive, psychologically safe workplaces. Les sujets abordés peuvent être difficiles pour certaines personnes si, à tout moment durant l'événement, vous ressentez le besoin de vous retirer. Vous pouvez quitter la séance afin de protéger votre santé mentale. Votre santé est primordiale. If you need to talk to someone before, during, or after the event, there is support available for you 24/7. Please see the chat for contact information. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Notre équipe est heureuse de vous présenter le greffier de conseil privé et secrétaire du cabinet de Canada, John Hannaford. The program's success, LLMC, was a deliberate cross-government inclusive approach, and it's been recognized at the highest levels. So thank you, Mr. Hannaford, who delivered our opening remarks back in September when we were just starting the journey. So super grateful that you're here with us today at graduation. So more than just a learning opportunity, LMC is a platform that builds influential networks, accelerates careers, and empowers leaders to make a lasting impact by connecting participants to peers across government departments and organizations at all levels. And I saw it firsthand myself. The benefits have extended far beyond individual leadership development. LLMC helps enhance employee retention, increases engagement, and reinforces a culture of inclusive leadership. These are key drivers for business performance in any organization. This just makes good people sense, good business sense when you take care of the people side of business. So when leaders at all levels, and I believe all of you are leaders, when you feel supported and connected, you make stronger, more informed decisions and remain dedicated to your roles that create lasting organizational success. So can you join me with some emoji love, and let's welcome John Hannaford to the stage. Welcome.
Well, look, thanks so much, Samantha, and thank you, Suzanne, as well. And it's great to see all of you. I wish we could all be together, but this is the benefit of our current world, is we can have a community right across the country and around the world, and be able to participate in an event like this comme célébration d'une série d'accomplissements pour vous comme leader et comme fonctionnaire. Dans un moment où il y a un besoin de renforcer les liens entre nous et de renforcer les aspects de notre communauté qui sont si importants en ce moment dans notre histoire comme pays et comme humaine. Look, we're in a pretty complicated world right now. And I am very conscious of the fact that as we collectively think about the challenges that we face, we do that as a community, and we do that as an institution made up of teams and made up of individuals with a series of different strengths and capacities. And as you look at the environment in which we're operating, il y a une série de défis en ce qui concerne la situation géopolitique, la situation concernant le climat, les changements technologiques, et il y a une série d'autres conversations concernant nos institutions et their legitimacy. And in this sort of an environment, first of all, I think you could note several things. Il y a une série de thèmes là. Tout d'abord, les enjeux sont si compliqués. Et il y a une série d'aspects de chaque type de problème. And that means that we have to draw off of the full strength of our community. As we think about each of those issues, there's no one organization, there's no one person who can think about how we're going to deal with the geopolitical challenges, how we're going to deal with the effects of climate, how we're going to deal with questions around application of new technologies like AI and quantum, and what those mean as we operate in a society where, frankly, there are questions in some quarters of our society about our institutions. That means, as I say, that we need to rely on each other. We need to figure out how we work together to the best effect. Et je suis convaincu qu'il y a nécessité d'avoir une série de liens qui sont fondés sur nos valeurs et notre éthique. Et ça inclut absolument les valeurs de respect. You know, respect is so central to the work that we do together. I feel particularly strongly about this. I've always described, as I've joined new organizations, how important it is to remember the value of collegiality, remember the importance of each member of the team, and to draw off of each member of the team. And that's the foundation of respect. And so a program like yours is really so important as a way of reminding us of those linkages and how we work together to serve the country that we love. And that can be in any number of different ways, whether it's through membership in the armed forces, whether it's through membership, as I lived in the Canadian Foreign Service, through its serving in establishments across the country as part of correctional services, or defending our borders, or working on programming that helps support Canadians in times of need. These are all critical roles. And again, they're not things that you do by yourself. They're things that you do with others. And the idea of mentorship est si important. Pour moi, c'était essentiel pour ma carrière. J'étais si chanceuse d'avoir les gens comme Ian Shugart, comme un mentor. I think of Ian's counsel virtually every day as I do this job. And it's very touching to hear him quoted at the beginning of this, because Ian was a leader in so many respects, but his call to action, son appel à l'action, était un développement qui était si crucial pour nous pour renforcer l'idée de respect. And after Ian, Janice Charette, who has also served as a friend and mentor to me, reinforced again the importance of the call to action. And through the work that we've been doing while I've been in this job with respect to values and ethics, the call to action has been an intimate part of each aspect of that work. But just to sort of isolate the issue of mentorship, because I really do want to reinforce that. I was thinking as I was kind of preparing for the conversation today, how lucky I was. I very early on in my career, I'm now 30 some odd years into this, so a little past the toddler stage, Suzanne. But I was very fortunate to get to know a bit one of my predecessors, whose name was Gordon Robertson, and Gordon was the clerk for about 10 years in the 70s under Mr. Trudeau's father. And the thing that really struck me, and I remember so vividly, is that he took me seriously as a young professional. He listened to me. I could share my ideas, and he treated those as worthy of merit, worthy of conversation. And it was fundamentally a question of respect, but it was more than that, because, you know, he, as a person with some pretty profound wisdom and pretty profound experience, he approached those conversations with both a sense of kind of human decency and some humility and kindness. And that, to me, is a lasting impression. And I think of Gordon as I do this job every day as well. Alors, les occasions qui sont créées par le mentorat et qui sont un aspect de notre travail ensemble sont si importants pour nous comme institution. You know, we're in a moment right now which reminds us, again, I gave you a list of the topics that we are collectively addressing, but, you know, we are at the core a pillar of Canadian democracy. I find that one of the most inspiring aspects of the work we do, and it's intimately connected to our values and ethics code. And we've just gone through a transfer of power, which was peaceful and was professional and has arrived with a new prime minister and a new government. And that's not something that we should ever take for granted, nor should we forget our critical role in facilitating that. It's really essential to our society that we do our jobs well. So at the highest level, you know, the creation of a new ministry and the establishment of the new priorities and the new mandate, that's a critical role for the public service. But just as critical, and the way that we are judged, is often by the kind of day-to-day interactions that we have with the public that we serve, and our day-to-day interactions with each other. And so, again, reinforcing those bonds, reinforcing those values, working together, drawing off of our strengths collectively, and seeing how well we can do. And I have every confidence that we can rise to all the challenges that will face us. I have every confidence in you as leaders in this institution and in the future of this institution. And I think that the sort of program that you are now graduating from is extraordinarily helpful in us realizing those goals and confronting those challenges and doing it in a way that is consistent with our values, consistent with our ethics, and serves the public that rely upon us to do our jobs well. But thank you so much for including me today. Congratulations on your graduation. Thank you, Samantha, and thank you, Suzanne, for your leadership, and all best wishes.
Wow. Thank you so much, John. I'm here reflecting and collecting this great information, and it really does tie everything together, you know. And thank you for talking about the sticky things, you know, and not ignoring it, because you're right. We are in a time of true change.
change. And we've seen very peaceful things happen, and we've seen very surprising things happen in a very short period of time. And as humans, it's been really hard to catch up and to understand which is what's information and misinformation. And I know I'm holding space for a lot of people as they're navigating that and all the changes. That's the number one thing. But what I heard today is values-based leadership, and something I'm very passionate about. These words of the late Ian Sugar, they're not trendy. Taking care of people is not trendy. It's values-based. It should be embedded into everything that we do. And to hear it from the clerk today, I think is just an additional affirmation that we're all leaders at all levels, and we have truly such a big responsibility and big shoes to fill to take care of each other so that we can best serve Canadians. So thank you. I think that was so cool. What a great congratulatory speech, everyone. So please share some emoji love for all of us here. Thank you, John, for that great opening remarks. Over to you, Suzanne. What did that leave you thinking about? And yeah. I'm curious.
Well, for me, it just continues to inspire me, and it's really it's almost like the tagline of LLMC: to connect, elevate, and inspire. That's something that, as a toddler, that I keep with me. There are times that, as a new public servant, you ask yourself a lot of questions. Why? Why is it done this way? Why don't it? What? And it's kind of like, why isn't it done this way? But by connecting and hearing from people, valuing their contributions, it just helps to paint a clearer picture. So really, the clerk's message, thank you for reminding us about our values and our ethics, and also why we're here, which is to serve the Canadian public. So that really just touched me deeply. So merci beaucoup. Ouais. Je pense que je vais pas répéter tout ce que j'ai dit en français, mais c'est juste pour dire que je suis vraiment touchée par les mots. Et puis, en tant qu'être nouvelle, nouvelle, est-ce que je peux toujours dire nouvelle après 4 ans? It's like, am I not old yet after 4 years? I'm still a toddler, right? Yeah, I'm still learning loads. Mais tu sais, au moins, je pleure pas. Je pleure pas à 4 ans, là. Dans le service public, beaucoup de sourires, mais vraiment, je suis vraiment contente d'être partie de ce programme, et merci beaucoup pour les mots inspirants aujourd'hui. Alors, prenons le temps d'écouter Adam Aymon, diplômé du DEAPCM de 2024.
Hi, my name is Adam Imond. I'm a military officer with over 20 years of experience working as an Air Force engineer. Also a dad with a couple of young daughters, as well as a couple stepsons. Something that a lot of people don't know about me is I'm a survivor of a pretty significant mental health injury, but I'm in a really good spot right now, and I'm really involved in the community. LLMC has really reignited my curiosity and my desire to grow, and just my interest in connection with other people. It was really interesting being in small group discussions with really a diverse group of people from across the public service. Really being able to practice, listening to other people and trying to understand where they're coming from, and really meeting them where they are, right? And also just being able to share bits and pieces of myself as well. I think just because of the way I was brought up in the military, it was, leadership has a very transactional component to it, and it's really about getting something done or doing something, or kind of giving an order, right? The LLMC program just really reinforced that relational aspect, getting to know people on a more personal level, and understanding where they're coming from and where they need to go, and their interests and aspirations, and who they are as a person, and really the importance of establishing that relationship with people to really have a better operational outcome at the end of the day. I think it's really important that we have a really strong leadership at all levels in both the military and the public service. At the end of the day, it's not a policy, it's not some document that's going to cause someone to stay. It's the people you work with, and the more open and transparent and engaged you are with that group, that's, I think, what's motivating people to stay with an organization. And so the more we can strengthen the leadership amongst all of them, and allow people to bring themselves to work. I think that's the payback for a program like LLMC. This is a program that I really wish I had access to much earlier in my career, because I think just the topics that are presented and the way they're presented really allow you to kind of adopt a growth mindset and start to think more critically about topics and challenges and such. And I think one of the key pieces is the small group discussions, which are very much self-led. So there's no instructor, there's no this is what you need to learn. It's really a discovery amongst all the group members, and just the fact that the first session was just very, everyone's hesitant, everyone's filling each other out. We're not too sure what we're there to do, but you can kind of see the growth, and I saw the growth in myself by the end. It was just a more open, free-flowing conversation, and again, it was where the group wanted to take it, which I think that mindset, that ability to change and be curious, I think that's the strength that we can bring back to our organizations. If people don't feel safe, they're not going to share their ideas. They're not going to share what they think or their different perspectives. And I think that just really weakens an organization's ability to problem solve, especially in the face of complex challenges. And I would argue that anything we do within the military and within the public service at large, there's no simple answers. There's always trade-offs. And so the larger we can